Hi guys, good evening everyone. Welcome back to Code Reboot Academy. Today we are going to see the remaining topic in the module 5, that is mathematical reasoning. Yesterday we are seeing the number series. Today we are going to see the alphabetical series and the methods. And next we are going to see coding. So just have a glance. Come, let's go and start our session. So in the mathematical reasoning, we know that we have 6 topics. We are already come. Hi guys, good evening. Welcome back to the session. Welcome to Code Review Academy. Now we are going to start our session in the module 5 logical mathematical reasoning. Our first problem today is um, Bodima's rule, that is B is Venculum, that is a bar R at top of the value, and the second B is bracket, and O means the order, and D the division, M multiplication, E addition, and S is subtraction. So here we have the example. So how we have to solve? First you have to check for the underlying our value with the bar. No, we don't have the value. Then we move for the bracket. We don't have bracket. So then we have to go for the order. So in the order, we have to first calculate the division first. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. Then 1 divided by 4 is what we have to calculate. We have to calculate by order. Then second thing is 4 divided by 4 is 1 plus. So we have to divide it by 4 is equal to 2 by 8. So our value will be 4. Okay, so this is the first method. You won't get sums, but for time's sake we are telling you, can you able to get it in the, you can expect these kind of sums in your competitive exams. So we'll go for the next. Our next sum will be partnership. So here we have the question for partnership. So first question is, A started a business investing rupees 100 rupees 5,000. After 1 year, B joined him investing rupees 6,000. Okay, so A is starting a business, and after 1 year, B is joining as a partner with 6,000 of investment. After another year, C has joined with 9,000. So what is the ratio between their profit? So we have to calculate the ratio of share profit for three of them. So we have to calculate P1 is to P2 to P3 is equal to, so 5,000 into 3. So for 3 years we have to calculate the profit. So A has started, so he is 3 years in the business. So second, B who has joined before 2 years. Then C who has joined before 1 year. So we have to calculate according to that. So our next step is we have to multiply the values. So P1 is to P2 is to P3 is equal to 15,000. So 6 2s are 12. So 12,000 to 9,000. Okay. So then we can divide it by common number. So that is 3. So we get our ratio value, that is 5 is to 4 is to 3. So this is a very easy sum. As you compare to other problems, it is a very easiest problem. So our answer will be 5 is to 4 is to 3. So let me tell you again. So here A has started a business with 5,000 of investment, and after 1 year, B has joined with 6,000, and after 2 years C has joined with 9,000. So what we have to find? We have to find the ratio share between the three. So first one is A. So 5,000 into 3. So because he is before 3 years, he is the person who has started before 3 years. So second is B. He has joined before 2 years. And the third one is C. He has joined before 1 year. So we have to calculate and we have to divide by the common number, that is we can divide it by 3. So 5 is to 4 is to 3 is their share ratio. Shall we go for the next sum? Okay, next thing is mixture and allocation. Allocation is if bought ratio two varieties of rice worth rupees 40 per kg and rupees 60 per kg should be mixed to give a variety worth rupees 46. So we have to mix the ratios of the rices of two varieties. So for allocation we have to draw an arrow, then only it is easier for you to understand. So we have to get 46 rupees rice per kg by mixing these two. Then here we are going to mix 40 rupees rice and for 60 rupees rice to get 46 rupees rice. So here it is very simple and very easiest sum. So what we have to going to do is we have to get the approximation. So we have to cross it. So 60 minus 46. The second thing is 40 minus 46. Okay. So you have got the our answer. So 60 minus 46 is 14 is to 6. So these are the shortcuts. So our answer will be 7 is to 3. So both the numbers are divided by 2. So we got the answer. It is 7 is to 3. So you have to mix the rices in the proportion of 7 is to 3 to get 46 rupees rice per kg. Okay guys. So this is our answer. So it's a very easiest sum. So mixture and allocation is very easiest sum. So here we have the two varieties of rices. So first one is 40 rupees per kg and the second one is 60 rupees per kg. So we have to mix the varieties and we have to make it as 46 rupees per kg rice. So first we have to write the variety what we needed to get. So then second we have to write the two varieties what we already have. So we have to crossly subtract the value. So 60 minus 46 and 40 minus 46. So you got the values, that is 14 is to 6. So we have to divide it by a common number, that is 7 is to 3. Okay. It's very easiest sum. So we go for the next sum. Shall we go for the next sum? Okay. Our next sum will be average. Okay. So in the average sum, you got a question. Average age of a family of 4 members is 36. So average age of 4 members is 34. What is the average age of family after 4 years? We have to calculate after 4 years. So here we are going to have a very small shortcut tricks. So you have to be very careful, listen carefully. So since everyone's age is increased. Okay, here everyone's age is increased. Here everyone's age is increased by 4 years. So it's easier for us to calculate the new average age will be 34 plus 4 is equal to 38. So this is our answer. It's a shortcut trick. So it is applicable only if we have the common year of increase. Okay. So here the question, average age of a family of 4 members is 34. What is the average age of family members after 4 years? So it's very easy. You can use these tricks only in the same year of increase or in the same ratios. Okay. So 34 is their age of 4 members. It is increased gradually for everyone. It is 4 years. So our answer will be 38. Okay. This is a shortcut. Let me do with the traditional method. So total, I'll show you how it works. So total age of family before 4 years is equal to 34 into 4. So it is 136. It's a traditional method. You just go out with the shortcut method what I told you. I just wanted to show you how it works. So second, after 4 years, their increase equal to 4 into 4 equal to 16. Okay. Then new total age equal to 136 plus 16. Is it 152? Okay. So we have to find their new average. Okay. Here is that. We have to find their new average of family. To find the new average of family for that. So new average is equal to after 4 years. Okay. So after 4 years, so we have to divide it by 4. So our answer equal to 38. We got the answer? Yeah. So we can use the shortcut to clear this sum. So it is very easy. If our age increasing is in the same year ratio, increased for everyone is in the same year ratio. Shall we go for the next sum? So next sum is percentage. So here we have the question. Out of 6,500 population, okay, men are 39,000. So total population is 6,500. So men are 39,000. What is the percentage of women? So here we have to find the percentage of women. So women equal to total population is 6,500 minus men is 3,900. Sorry. Our total population will be 65,000 and the men is 39,000. So we know that automatically women population will be 26,000. Okay, the women's population will be 26,000. So be clear, it's a very easy and shortcut method to sort out your problems. So here our question is, out of 65,000 population, men are 39,000. What is the percentage of women? For women, we have to subtract the total population with the population of men. So you get 26,000. But we have to calculate the percentage. So percentage. So percentage of women. So we have to calculate the percentage of women. So percentage of women equal to 26,000 divided by, so total 65,000. So into 100. So we are calculating the percentage value. For percentage, we have to multiply the value by 100. So our answer will be 2 by 5 into 100 is equal to 40 percentage. So this is our answer. So please, while you're sorting out your sums, follow these shortcut tricks to clear your answers quick as well as fast. Okay. Here is the percentage sum. And the total population is 65,000. So the total number of men is 39,000. So we have to calculate the percentage of women. So for calculating the percentage of women, you have to know the total number of women in the population. So we are subtracting the total population with the total population of men. So you'll get 26,000. So for calculating the percentage, you have to divide the population of women by the total population. So for calculating the percentage, we have to multiply it by 100. So you'll get 40 percentage. Shall we go for the next sum? Yeah. Our next sum will be based on salary. So salary, it's also a percentage problem. So we have to calculate the salary. So the salary of Sai was rupees 20,000. If the salary is increased, just read the question at least once or twice. Then only you can able to understand the question. So salary of Sai was rupees 20,000. If the salary is decreased by 10% and then increased by 30%, what is the new salary? So salary of Sai is getting 20,000 salary. Then he has reduced his salary and he is getting a less percentage of 10%, and after a few days he got increased in the salary 30%. So we have to consider A equal to, there is a reduction in the percentage, so it is 10%. So we consider B as an increase in the percentage, that is 30. So we have to calculate the net change. So how much it has been changed? So net change equal to, so we have to calculate the net change of the percentage. So net change equal to minus 10 plus 30 plus, so it is minus 10 plus 30 plus, we have to calculate minus 10. It's a formula for calculating. So into B, so that is 30 divided by 100. Okay. So if you are going to calculate the salary on the basis of less than or minus increase in as well as in the decreased, so we have to use the formula. I'll tell you the formula, shortcut formula to calculate the sum. So A plus A plus R minus plus or minus B equal to A into B divided by 100. This is a formula to calculate the increase and decrease in the percentage. So here we have the percentage reduced in the percentage of 10 minus 10, and here he has increased by 30%. So we are going to calculate the net change. So for net change, we have to calculate the net change equal to 20. So 10 minus 30 is 20, minus, we have to short out those things. So 30 minus 30 divided by 100. So you will minus 300. So our value will be minus 300 divided by 100. So we have to calculate is equal to 20 minus 3. Okay. So equal to totally 70 percentage. So 17 percentage is the positive value. So we have calculated for increase. So it is increase percentage is positive value. Okay. Positive value. Positive value. So we have to calculate the new salary. So we have calculated the new increase in the percentage. We have to calculate the new salary. So new salary of Sai. So we have to calculate the new salary of Sai. So new salary of Sai equal to, already she is getting 20,000 plus we have got that he has an increase in the salary of 17 percentage by 100. So for percentage we are adding 100 into 20,000. Okay. So it is, her new salary will be, new salary will be 23,400. Okay. So if you are having a problem in the increase as well as in the decrease percentage, you have to use the formula a plus a minus b is equal to a into b divided by 100. This is a very easiest method to sort out your problems. So here we have the question. Salary of Sa is 20,000. If the salary is decreased by 10 percentage and then increased by 30 percentage, what is the new salary? So we have to calculate the new salary of him. So what we are doing, we have to find the net changes, how much it has been increased or changed in the salary percentage. So for that we have to use the formula a plus b, a plus or minus b is equal to a into b divided by 100. So we got the new positive increase in the salary as 17 percentage. For calculating the new salary of Sai, we have to add the new salary with the increase in the salary. So 20,000 plus 17 by 100. So 17 percentage, by instead of percentage we are dividing it by 100 into 20,000. So you'll get 23,400 as her new salary. So we'll go for the next sum. Our next sum will be the product. Okay, the price of the product increased by 20 percentage and the sales was decreased by 20 percentage. So as I said earlier, we have the same sum problem, but we don't have any amount or things. We have to calculate the by what percentage the increment increased. So we have to calculate only the increase in the percentage. So as I said earlier, either you can use this problem, or you can, if you are using this formula, you can use it, but there is no need for using the same formula because the increase in the percentage is same, but here the increase in the percentage is different. So it is 10 and 30, but here the increase in the percentage is same. So we don't want to use other formula. So here we have the formula. So a square divided by 100. We don't have an increase in different percentages. We have the same percentage, so it is easier for us to calculate. So this is the formula. So value of a equal to 20 percentage. It has increased only by 20 percentage. So we have to calculate it as 20 percentage whole square. So we have increase and decrease in the same percentage value. So we are calculating it as 20 into 20 by 100. Okay. If you have the increase percentage and the decrease percentage as in the same value, you can use a square by 100. If you have a different values, then you have to use a plus or minus b equal to a into b divided by 100. So here we have the same percentage increase and decrease. So we are using it as a square by 100. So a into a by 100. So we have what? So we have 40 divided by 100. So our increase in the percentages, increase and decrease in the percentages 4%. Okay. So we got our value. It is 4%. So shall we go for the next sum? I think everyone is able to understand. It's very easier for us to calculate. So the next thing is profit, loss and discount. So it is very easy. We are going to calculate only selling our price or cost price. So here we have the problem. A mobile phone worth of rupees 9,900 is sold for 9,000. What is the percentage of loss? So we know that while you are calculating that, we know that it is 900 rupees. So but we have to calculate in the percentage value. So selling price of mobile is 9,900 9,000. It is we have sold it for only 9,000. So cost price. So CP, we have bought it for 9,900. So we have to calculate the percentage. So we have to calculate the loss. So loss equal to, we have to calculate the loss value. So loss equal to 9,900 minus 9,000. So we have to calculate the percentage value. So we have to divide it by the whole value, 9,900 divided by, for calculating the percentage we have to multiply it by 100. So we are multiplying it by 100. So our loss equal to 9.09%. Okay. So substitute the values according to the formula. If you are going to calculate the loss, our formula will be selling price minus cost price by cost price. So selling price is the amount we have sold out the product, and the cost price is the amount we have bought the product. We have to divide the whole values by the total value of the product into 100 for calculating it into percentage. So we'll go for the next sum. You'll get definitely one or two questions from these type of problems. So our problem is train problem. You have definitely two, three questions from this problem. So first, look at the problem. So the train of length 200 meter crosses. So it is crossing a bridge. A platform of length 150 meters at a speed of 72 kilometers per hour. How long will the train take to cross the platform? So we have to find how long the time will be for crossing the platform. So here we have the formula. So L1 LT plus LP by ST. So here the length of the train is 200 meters. So it is LT. So length of the platform is LP, that is 150 meters. So the speed is 72. So we have to calculate into minutes per hour per second. So our formula, we have given the formula. So LT, so LT equal to 200 meters, then L length of the platform. So LT means length of train. So length of train. So LP length of platform equal to 150 meters. So speed is a 72 kilometers per hour. We have to calculate into minutes per second. So that is 5 by 18. It's a standard formula to calculate minutes per second. We have to by heart it minutes per second. For calculating minutes per second, it is 5 by 18. So it is 20 MPS. Then we have to find the time taken to cross the platform. So time taken to cross platform equal to, go with the formula, 200 plus 150 divided by 20. So 200 plus 150 is 350. We are going to divide it by 20. So our value will be 17.5 minutes per second. Okay. So this is our answer. So while you are calculating, you should use these shortcuts to sort out the problems. So first we have to know the length of the train and length of the platform. Then we have to calculate it into MPBS. So MPBS is minutes per second. So for calculating minutes per second, our standard value is 5 by 18. So we'll get 20 MPS. Then we have to substitute in the formula. So 200 meters plus 150 meters divided by 20, that is 350 by 20. It is 17.5. We'll go for the next problem. So our next problem will be two trains problem. So we have to use the same method. So it is L1. So length of train 1 is 200. Then length of train 2 is length of train 2 is so length of train 2 is 300. Then we have to we had a speed, that is they are given in the km ph. So we have to make it into mpps. So for that, so s1 equal to 54, then s2 equal to 36. We have to make it into mpps. So for that, s1 plus s2 equal to 54 plus 36 equal to 90 kmph. Okay. As I said earlier, for calculating it, you have to substitute the value 90 into 5 by 18. Okay. You'll get 25 mphs. So we have calculated the mps value. Then you are going to substitute it. So we have to find the time travel. So time equal to L1 plus L2 by S1 plus S2. So we got the value for S1 plus S2. So that is 200 plus 300 divided by 25. So our value will be 500 divided by 25, that is 20 seconds. Okay. So while you are calculating, just use the shortcut formula what I have provided to you. It is easy and convenient for you to clear the sums. So we have two trains. So first train length is 200 meters and the second train length is 300 meters. So first train speed is 54 kmph and second is 36 kmph. So we have to calculate, they are moving in the opposite direction. We have to calculate they take how much time to cross each other. So we are using the formula L1 plus L2 by S1 plus S2. Okay, we'll move for this next sum. Our next sum will be, we have used the formula for the, just note it down, I forgot to mention you. For opposite direction it is plus. If they are coming in the opposite direction, we have to use plus in the formula. If you are going with the same direction, you should use only the approximate values. Okay, you should have only the approximate values, that is subtraction values. So here we have the same problem. You are going to find out the sums. We should use the approximate value for S2 and S1. Okay, so here, as I said earlier, L1 equal to length of the train is equal to, first train is 200. So L2 length of the second train equal to 300. So we have to find S1. So S1 equal to, so for say opposite direction, we have added S1 and S2 equally and we are converted into Mbps. But for this one, we have to calculate separately. So S1 equal to, I'll tell you. For S1 equal to S1, we have to find only the approximate value. We can't find the accurate value for it. So approximately S2, okay, is equal to, for the same direction we can't able to find the accurate values. For opposite direction it's possible for us to find the accurate values. So you are going to find only the approximate values. So 66 minus 30. So for opposite direction we have to add the speeds. For, please note it down, for opposite direction you have to add the speeds. For same direction you have to subtract the speed. It is very important, please note it down. For opposite direction you are going to add the speeds. For same direction you have to subtract the speeds. Okay, so you have calculated it as 36 kmph. So we have to calculate into Mbps. For that, what you have to do, you have to 36 5 by, as I said earlier, we should divide it by the same value, is equal to 10 mph. Okay, so we have to substitute as it is in the formula, is equal to 200 plus 300 divided by 10 is equal to 500 divided by 10. So our value will be 50. So 50 mph. Okay, mp, yes, seconds. Okay, we have calculated the value in seconds. So you have to be very clear while reading the questions. If you are going to find the trains in the opposite direction, you have to use the formula L1 plus L2. You can add the speed of first train and second train. And if you are calculating it for the trains in the same direction, you have to subtract the speed of train 1 and train 2. Shall we go for the next one? So our next problem is, two trains A and B length of 300 meters. So two trains, so both the length are 300 and 400, are traveling at a speed of 72 kilometers per hour and 36 kilometers per hour in opposite direction. So we are going to add. So whether it is in the same direction, we have to subtract. When it is in the case of opposite direction, please keep it in mind, for opposite direction we have to add. Okay. So we are going to check it out with the formula. So length of first train equal to 300. Okay. So we have to find a man to cross a traveling in train B. So a person has to travel in the B. How much time he will take to cross in train B. To cross train A, the person in the train B takes how much time to cross. So we don't want to calculate for B because they are given the person only in the train B has to cross. So we don't want to calculate for train B. So L1 equal to 300. So S1 equal to 72 kmph and S2 equal to 36 kmph. So we have to calculate for only for the person in the train B. So as I said earlier, we have to change it into MPS. So that is we have to add S1 plus S2 because they are in the same opposite direction. So it is 72 plus 36 is equal to 108. So 5 by 18, okay, is equal to 30 MPS. So then we have to use it in the formula for time calculation. T is equal to 300 by 30. So the person takes 10 seconds to cross. Okay. So be clear. We are going to find the person for traveling in the B. So we don't want to calculate or we don't want to do anything with the length of the train B. We have to do only with the train length of A. So our formula is very easy and very simple to calculate. So we have to calculate the length L1 and we have to calculate the speed S1 and S2. So S1 plus S2 equal to 72 plus 36. So we have to convert it into MPS, that is 108 of 5 by 18 is equal to 30 MPS. Then we are going for the next sum. We have to calculate for the person in the same direction. As I said earlier, for the same direction we have to subtract the values, we should not add the values. So here we have the sum. So the value of L1 equal to 100. Then we have to calculate it for S1. So S1 equal to for this sum we have to calculate separately the length of MPS value separately. We don't want to calculate it addedly. We have to calculate it separately and easier for you to calculate. So 72. So 72 into 5 by, or else you can calculate it in the same way, no issues. So S1 minus S2, okay, is equal to 72 minus 36 equal to 72 minus 36 is 36 kmph. So Then we have to add the values. We have to convert it. For that, it's equal to, we have to we have to 36 of 5 by 18 is equal to 10. Okay, here we have the formula, that is L1 is 100 divided by 10 is equal to 10 seconds. So we have calculated it as 10 seconds. So we'll go for the next sum. As I said earlier, we have to calculate it. For opposite direction, we have to add the speeds. For same direction, we have to subtract the speeds. We'll go for the next sum, that is stream. So we have the stream problem. So here we have the stream for downward stream, not the upward stream, once we are going in the downward direction. So here we have the question. The speed of the boat in still water is 30 kilometers per hour. How long will the boat take to row 96 down streams in a river of speed 2 kilometers? So we have to calculate the downstream value. For downstream, ds equal to, a formula will be distance traveled downstream. So how many distance he has traveled? So distance equal to, it is 96 kilometers. Okay, so how long will it boat take to row 96 downstream? So the downstream value is 96 kilometers. Then we have to calculate the speed. So speed, they have given it as speed of boat. So I'll mention you speed, easier for you to go. We'll write the formula in the last. I'll tell you how to calculate first. So it's a distance. So distance we have to travel is 96. So we have to calculate the speed of downstream. So speed of boat. So speed of boat in still water. So we have to calculate the speed of boat. So is equal to, what is the speed of boat? Here it is 30 kilometers per hour. Then next we have to calculate SR. So SR equal to speed in river water. So SR equal to speed in river water. Okay. So it is 2 kmph. So as I said earlier, we have to add SP and SR, that is SB is speed of boat plus SR is speed of river is equal to 30 plus 2 is equal to 32. Okay, that is kmph. So we have to substitute in the formula. So time is equal to 96 divided by 32. So we got the answer. It is 3 hours. We have to calculate only the hours. They never said convert to minutes. They ask you to calculate in the hours. So we never converted it into MPPS. So we just calculated in the hours. So it takes 3 hours to reach the downstream. Okay. So first we have to calculate the speed of SP and SR by adding it. So here we have the distance. So the speed of boat in water is 30 km/h. How long will the boat take to row 96 km? We have to find for 96 km how long it takes. So the distance as already given, it is 96 km. So we have the speed of boat, it is 30 kilometers per hour. The speed of the boat in the river is 2 kilometers per hour. So we have the formula distance by speed of boat plus speed of in the river. So it is T is equal to 96 by 32. It is 3 hours. So we'll go for the next sum in the upstream. So for upstream, if it is we are moving in the upstream, the forces will be high. So when we are going down, the force will be low. So we have to subtract it. When we are going up, we have to we have to subtract. While we are going down, we have to add. Okay. So we are here, as I said earlier, we have the same formula. So distance D is equal to, it has to travel 175 kilometers. Then speed of boat is equal to, in still water is 40 kilometers. Then the speed of boat in the river is 5 kilometers per hour. So we have to calculate with the formula T is equal to the distance by SP plus SR. So T is equal to, what is the distance? It is 175 by 40 plus 5 is 45. So we got our value. So T is equal to, for upstream, the T value is equal to 5 hours. Okay. So please check out the formula and it's easier for you to calculate. So once you are getting your problems, you have to analyze the questions. So the speed of the boat is given. So how many distance it has to travel, and the river of the boat speed in the river is 5 kilometers. So our formula is simple. So D by SP by SR minus SR. For upstream it is subtraction. For downstream it is addition. As I said earlier, for the opposite direction we have to add. For the same direction we have to subtract. Shall we move for the next sum? So now we are calculating it for 2 persons. So we have to calculate for the 2 persons in the boat. So they are given the question. The time taken by the boat to row 40 kilometers stream in 4 hours. It took 2 hours to return back to the starting point. Find the speed of the boat. So here we have downstream as well as the upstream. So for downstream and upstream we have to calculate as, for downstream it is S ds. For downstream it is S ds equal to 40. They are given it took 2 hours to return back. So back it is, we are moving into from downstream to upward. So for moving back it is 40 divided by 2. Okay, 40 divided by 2 is equal to 20 km/h. So we have to calculate it for the next US upstream. It's equal to 40 divided by, they are given it is for upstream it is 40 kilometers for 4 hours. So it is 10 km/h. So we have to use the next step, that is we have to find both the upstream and the downstream. So we have to get into the formula, that is S downstream plus upstream divided by 2. This is a formula. So downstream is 20 plus 10 divided by 2. So our value will be 15 km/h. So it takes the speed of the boat will be 15 km/h. So it's very easier finding the two boats, they have given the upstream as well as the downstream. For upstream, it is 40 kilometers per hour in the 4 hours. So 40 kilometers for 4 hours, we have to calculate it for 1 hour. And for downstream, it is same 40 kilometers we have to calculate, but it takes only 2 hours. So we have to divide the values and we have to substitute it in the formula. So we'll go for the next problem. So here's the problem. Speed of the boat SP equal to 2ds minus. So here we have to calculate the time taken by the boat to row 40 kilometers upward in 4 hours. It took 2 kilometers to return the starting point. Find the speed of river. Here we have find the speed of boat, but now we have to find the speed of river. For finding the river, we have to calculate the values in the, we have to add the speed, but for finding the boat, for finding the speed of the boat, we had to add the value of speed. For finding the river, speed in the river, we have to subtract. Okay, so we have to substitute in the value as I said earlier. So for speed in the upstream, speed in upstream speed in upstream, for speed in upstream, it is for speed in upstream, it is 40 divided by 4, it's equal to 10 kmph. And for speed in downstream, it is 40 divided by 2 is equal to 20 kmph. So we have to calculate the time or the speed in the river. So for calculating the speed in river, our formula will be 20 minus 10 divided by 2 equal to 10 divided by 2, that is 5 kmph. Okay, so we have to be very clear. As I said in the train problem, for train problem, in the same direction we have to subtract the values. For opposite direction we have to add the values. In the same way, for the boat upstream, we have to subtract the values. For downstream we have to subtract the values. For upstream we have to for upstream we have to subtract the values. For downstream we have to add the values. For speed in the river, we have to subtract the upstream and the downstream speed. For speed in the boat, we have to add the speeds. Shall we go for the next?